How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to a new video on the brand new F1 2022 game. Now, I haven't uploaded in a while, and I was really trying to beat Max Verstappen's 24-hour Le Mans virtual time. I was unable to get it. I was able to get into the 323s, but I could not get down to the 321s. So I just ended up not uploading on F121 anymore. But yeah, let's start creating our brand new F1 2022 My Team. And I decided to choose newcomer to give myself a challenge. And yeah, custom settings. I did end up turning off instant replay, which I later regretted in the practice session, as these cars, they just spin out so easily. I really underestimated how easily they spun out. I did not take what everyone was saying 100% seriously. But yeah, I was really hoping to have a video out today, as in my time zone, which is the Eastern time zone. The game was supposed to come out at 2 a.m., but then it ended up coming out at like 11 p.m. or no a.m. And yeah, just not very ideal. I was very upset because I did stay up until 2, waiting for the game, and then thought maybe something was wrong with mine, but no, everyone else was having the same problem on Steam. But as I saw, PlayStation, Xbox players didn't seem to have a problem. But yeah, I'm really just tuning the settings for this season 95 AI difficulty. It's going to be very difficult not to accidentally say F1 2021 instead of 2022. But yeah, these cars, it's kind of a love-hate right now. I, I really don't care that they're heavier. I don't mind that at all. I know some people were like, "Oh, they're heavier. I don't like that." I didn't mind too much. I just really did not like how easily they spun out. But yeah, really love-hate relationship with the cars. The soundtrack is very nice, although I don't know if I'm supposed to air it. I just left it on anyway since I'm not a big YouTuber by any means. But I don't think I'm allowed to, because I don't think you can play all the songs that EA are playing. At least I'll probably have to. I don't think the FIFA players do it because they do the same thing with FIFA and Madden. So all the EA Sports games do. But yeah, just creating the driver. I went with the face I've done for the past couple of years. I can't remember but too much about F1 2019, but I'm pretty sure they had that face in 2020 and 2021. And actually put my full name for whole name. But yeah, I'm just so excited to have a fresh start and be able to create a journey and record it with you guys just so early on in the game. As last time, when I started making these videos, it was towards the end of F1 2021's my life, and I only made like 4 videos of F1 2021 My Team. But yeah, I was just checking to see if they have my last name. If they didn't, they do have it on FIFA though, so that's why I checked, because EA. But no, they don't have it, and went with the number 8. I didn't put my nationality on accident, but I did change it off camera. But yeah, I really just went with all the Miami stuff, as you get that with the Champions Edition, and you get to race in Miami. But also you get I never knew you got loyalty stuff, except the loyalty stuff is very ugly. Like, I don't like I mean, you can change the colors on it, but it's just so ugly. The default colors, the weird green and yellow. I'm not a big color green fan, and more of a blue fan, mainly because I'm a Michigan fan. If you live in the U.S. or watch college sports in the U.S., you'll probably know. But yeah, the loyalty stuff was not that nice. Just a weird colored green car, And yeah, so I just went with all the Miami stuff. I'm definitely not gonna keep it, as that's a bit like punch in the face American. And the Miami Grand Prix was not that great, to be honest. It was a little bit boring. It was nice to see another race in America, and I was able to watch it at a normal time because it was in my time zone. But yeah, going with the OG Molina Motorsport. Um, but yeah, I'll definitely be changing my the car looks as I unlock stuff from the pass. And I ended up just going with I believe I went with Echo. Um, I'm pretty sure I went with Echo. I've gone with them last season when I first recorded um, my journey in my team mode, and I'm really honestly trying to work on like certain setups so I can get some setups out to you guys. As when I was playing some of the time trials, just all the F1 esports drivers, were just using no setup, and I understand why. They don't want to get too in depth with the setups, especially now. And I don't know if the pro draft has gone on yet. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that takes place in July. But yeah, we went with Echo, and it's just a no-brainer to go with Red Bull powertrain. I don't know why the Ferrari and the durability on the Ferrari is so high. I'm pretty sure this is last season's though. So yeah, we went with Ferrari, and then um, here was a little bit of the dilemma. You only got to choose between a very small amount of drivers, just like last season. You didn't get the whole lineup of F1 2022. But I wanted to go with Oscar Piastri as just, even though it doesn't matter, it's not real life, just give him a spot in Formula One. But then I also noticed that Teo Porcher was 200K less, and choosing newcomer really need that money. And yeah, as you can see, Yuri Vips. I don't know how long. I don't know if they'll keep him in the game. I'm sure he probably will. Don't know if he's gonna even stay in Formula Two. Lost his only sponsor. Just a stupid mistake. Couldn't imagine what was going through his head. But yeah, I don't really know who these three drivers are at the back. I know Jehan Jarubala, Yuri Vips, Teo Porcher, Oscar Piastri. Don't know who those three are, but we end up going with Teo Porcher as just the 200K could help us a lot in the long run in buying different facilities for different stuff. Although I usually don't really hold on to my F2 driver for no more than a season and a half. I usually just end up dropping them and going for a legend, which they did add. I looked later off camera. They do still have the legends. I didn't know if they were going to add it. They probably said it. I just didn't pay attention. But yeah, there's still, Senna. They actually added Jacques Villeneuve. Yeah, don't know what. A bit of a weird addition, in my opinion. But yeah, they added Jacques Villeneuve. But you still have Senna. You still have Michael. And yeah, that was a loyalty one. That one, not a pretty color, and really not much you can do. Just those couple of lines in that green base. Not much color, but yeah, I went with the the Miami one, and here I'm just looking at some of these, and these look pretty nice. Definitely gonna try to grind out for some of those car skins, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just creating our logo, but yeah, that pretty much sums up most of this creation. I mean, there's of course the practicing. I did do full season for Bahrain, so there's you have to do the first practice, and I of course practice a little bit more as I still am not 100% with these cars yet. Just mainly with the sliding issue. I'm just not used to sliding, especially since I was trying to beat Max's virtual Le Mans time. You could just really floor it. The Orica on R Factor 2, you could really just almost floor it out of the corners. So I'm still trying to get used to that. Being gentler on the throttle, and and also not driving like a maniac, because you can drive like an absolute madman on R Factor. But yeah, I'm a little upset though that I didn't beat his time. I feel like the main issue was setup and stuttering. Like when I would stutter, I would lose 3/10 on my time. Very upsetting. But yeah, that really sums up the creation. And I didn't really show too much of the practicing, as I didn't do any of like the stuff that gets you R&D points. I just mainly just wanted to get comfortable with the car. But let's just jump right into qualifying. Alrighty, here we are qualifying. I believe we've gotten a good grip on the car, and I actually watched one of TRL Limitless videos, and he had a Bahrain setup for F1 2022. I don't know how 100% the setups are, as his setups are aimed more towards regular, comfortable racing, and not really the kind of like the esports level setups. But actually, this first lap, the reason I cut away from it was I actually had my ERS off the entire lap, and that's why I'm already up a second. And you'll see me gain a bunch of time coming down the straight. I had my ERS off, and it wasn't an awful lap in terms of cornering, but it was also hard to tell because no ERS. So yeah, I was 2 seconds off Lance Stroll's time. I was like, what? And then I saw that the ERS was off. And here we just go a little bit wide. We didn't cut in as much as I want to, but we're already up over a second and a half on this lap 2 time. This qualifying is very short-lived though, as Bahrain is not one of my favorite tracks, and I'm still not 100% with the sliding here. As you can see, we are dead last by 2 seconds. Absolutely horrendous. And I knew where I could get faster. It was just that first turn. I would just I'd underestimate how heavy these cars are a little bit. Even though I said I was fine with it, still on some of those hairpins and some of those slow turns, I definitely underestimate that the car isn't going to be able to turn, even though you think it is. It's just much heavier than it actually is. And as you can see, our teammate qualified up into P18, I believe. And there's us just waving, sitting in the car. Not last, though, as Albon starts last. Don't know if he got some sort of a penalty or maybe something broke on his car. But I did have I did turn the formation lap on, just to give give it a shot on lining up my own car and lining up in whatever direction I want. So I'm not a big fan of this new clutch animation. I like the other one where you could like slowly see if it was perfect, even though I never really chose the most perfect one, as the starting in this game is very hard. Like, there's so much wheel spin at the beginning. It's much more difficult. It's almost like the car, if you start a little bit too high on the revs, it's like your car is just on ice. I mean, just the back just slides all over. It's so much harder than last year's, and I really just got to get used to the starts, especially as the tires are still pretty warm. Don't have to do too much heating up, and not going to show this whole actually it was Stroll who started last. I'm sorry, why did I say Albon? But I'm not actually going to show this whole formation lap. It's fairly boring, and hopefully our race pace. Usually that's where I strive, is race pace. I'm not the greatest at one lap, but usually the race pace comes in clutch. I'm more of a Mr. Sunday, not a Saturday. But yeah, lined up. I had to do a quick little adjustment. Not a perfect thing, as my car is still a little bit behind on the yellow line. And yeah, we have a position towards the right to kind of cut off Stroll and dive bomb it down the inside. But like I said, harder starts and a lot of wheel spin. You really have to be gentle on the throttle, and it's going to be a bit weird. It's going to feel like you're being slower, but all you're going to do is slide as we touch the back of Latifi, but luckily no damage as I don't have it on simulated, I have it on standard, and I've kind of gone with more of a PSGL league, setting type, just to get ready for when the league does happen. And we've only gone up a place as Albon tries to send it down the inside, but we managed to hold him off. And now we are just behind Zhou Guan Yu. And as you can see, our teammate still holding on to P18 as Zhou Guan Yu goes for a weird little movement to the outside, even though zero room. We managed to go up a place, not a lot, not definitely where I want to be, and go a little bit wide here, like I said, a bit heavier, but also kind of had trouble opening up the steering wheel a bit too late. And Albon tries to go for another move down the inside, but we managed to get a much better getaway, and he decides to back off. And he's backing off into Lance Stroll, who hopefully can start attacking him, and we do not have to worry about him as we go wide here and get our first warning for exceeding track limits. And I'm surprised that we didn't get it for the last turn. And here is where I'm really faster, really just brake so much later than the AI. This is the first turn and the final turn. But yeah, as you can see, I've wasted a lot of ERS just trying to get back, or just try to get back with Zhou Guan Yu and the little bit in the train just forming there. As here, we can really cut that curb a lot. Like, I'm surprised I haven't gotten any sort of quarter cutting thing, as the rules are on strict. So we really gotta watch out for that. But also here, like, that little bump can really unsettle the car, and you just completely lose the back. And same through here. Normally in F1 2021, you're just able to completely ride that section and just go full out. But here, when I was doing it in practice, I would just spin. So I don't know if I've got the setup 100% correct, or if it's just because of the cars. As we got a little bit of a yellow flag, and Albon is way back there. I don't know if they touched, or if Albon has a problem, as we're still 0.8 of a second behind Zhou Guan Yu. And as you can see, our teammate there is still holding on to P18, and we really want to get within this train now, especially since DRS is coming up. If we lose the train, we might have to settle for P20 or have to go for some sort of a big risk strategy play. But yeah, DRS enabled. I just go all out with the ERS all the way down to 15% on the third lap of the race. Not great ERS management, and also go a little bit wide here and compromises our turning for that corner. As coming down the straight, we have ERS, but we were just, or DRS, but we were just too far back as a tiny lockup, but still managed to hold on. And again here, have to be a little bit careful, as normally you're able to ride that curb, but if you do ride it, your car will just beach or bottom out, and you'll just lose that. As we almost lose it here, but able to hold on. Definitely the tires do not like that, and that little coin unlock, it distracted me a little bit. I was like, what is that? And now we've lost so much time to Zhou Guan Yu, but we still have DRS, but so does he, and he has a little bit of a slipstream coming off of our teammate. This is not going to be good for us, as we need DRS coming down the straight, and we get our final warning for exceeding track limits. No more of those, otherwise we will be getting a penalty. So we really have to be careful, but unfortunately we don't get DRS for that turn. And here I see Magnussen pit, and I quickly pull the gun, as staying out, or undercut, very good on this track. And I also have the manual pit on, although I don't know what button to press. I don't know what 3 is on my steering wheel, and I get on late, and they have trouble putting on the left front tire, and this gives me a 5.8 pit stop, not great at all. And actually coming out of the pit lane, these tires are just, they're so, I don't know. And I really don't know what's wrong with them until you see me spin out here. Yeah, I didn't even go full throttle yet. And I decided to insert replay because I had zero clue what was wrong with the tires. And then I look, and they're at 71 degrees Celsius. They're very cold, have no heat in them whatsoever. I don't know why they don't have any heat on them. But yeah, we need to get those in heated up as fast as we can. And as you can already see, Albon 19 seconds ahead. We need to cut that down, especially if we want to start cutting into Zhou Guan Yu's time. And here, go a little bit wide, and the car doesn't like that, and we spin out and damage the rear wing. And here is where I just completely lose the car. No matter what I can do, just nothing happens. And I tried, reversing it, nothing happens. And I'm just so upset right now because, I just, not a great way to start off our new journey in F1 2022. Sorry, something dropped there. Sorry about that loud noise. But, yeah, we completely lose all control of the car. It's not beached on the gravel quite, but it's just that lip where the gravel and, this kind of off-road meet. And because the cars are so low, I can't get it, and we get disqualified. And yeah, first race of the season ends in a DNF, or I think it was disqualified because we were stopped on track. And the game, I guess the game just didn't know you can beach the car like that, and so I got disqualified instead of DNF'd because I couldn't move. So, yeah, Charles Leclerc wins the race, Carlos Sainz second, and Sergio Perez third. And I believe Max came fourth, all the way back there. Yeah, not a great way to start the F1 2022 journey. I'm just so upset. And that's actually a pretty cool entrance for the winner. Definitely going to want to see my character up there. And that's really the goal, is to try to get a podium and maybe a win this first season. I know I can do it, especially on certain tracks where I'm really good at. Bahrain is not my cup of tea, although that's not much of an excuse, as I was doing well in the PSGL League for some of it, until I kind of mess it up myself. But yeah, no, we got a DNF, and first one to DNF, and Kevin Magnussen unfortunately DNFs too. But that's going to do it for the first race of F1 2022, my team. I know the introduction was much longer than the actual race, and I'm so sorry about that. I promise you, I'm not going to have another boring race like that. If I do, I just won't even upload it. But I really wanted to just get a quick video out, just to, show you F1 2022. And, yeah, not much else to say. Please like, subscribe, bear with me on this one. I guarantee you the next is going to be much better as we head into Saudi Arabia, a much more interesting track. But that's going to do it. I hope you guys had a somewhat great time watching the video. Have a great day, night, wherever you're watching this from. Peace.